YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Rob with SOS Fragrance Reviews. I got another review today with a brand new release from the house of Dunhill. This is from their signature collection, and this is called Egyptian Smoke. Stay tuned. All right, so when was this? Maybe about a couple of weeks ago. I did the video with my daughter, and I got the fragrance in a large haul, and it was from FragranceBuy.ca, and I want to say I got the fragrance for about $92 and some change, and I bought it based upon a video I saw from another reviewer. I can't recall her name. I'll put it on the screen. Check her out. I like her reviews, and it kind of caught me off guard because I look for a review thinking that this is going to be a fragrance that guys are going to maybe gravitate to, and it was really the only video that I saw at that time, and it was with a woman saying that she really liked the fragrance, and I was kind of surprised at that. So the one thing she mentioned about the fragrance was that it was a very spicy, smoky fragrance, and it garnered her compliments. And I was like, wow, okay. So I like the house of Dunhill, and so I pretty much pulled the trigger and I got it. And I had the opportunity to test the fragrance, and I definitely agree. It's definitely it's a spicy, smoky fragrance. It's got a little bit of rose in there, and it's a little bit different. I mean, it's definitely something that is it's a new addition to my collection. I didn't have anything that was exactly like that. I had one fragrance that's similar, and I'll kind of speak on that, but nothing exactly like it. So I'll give you guys a little bit of details on the fragrance. It's a 2020 release. It is it retails at about $140 to $145. You can cop it on gray market around $92 to $95, which is a great deal. All right, the noses behind the fragrance are Jerome Epinetti and a Robert Et. I don't know these perfumers, but these are the listed perfumers. If you go to Fragrantica and try to look up information on this fragrance, the notes are wrong. Had to kind of go throughout the internet to find them, and I found them at the Harrods website. And Harrod had the notes as ginger extract, pink pepper, rose de Gracier, and labdanum. So more detail about the fragrance. What do you get? I've already stated it's a pretty like spicy, smoky fragrance, but this is how it developed on my skin. When you first spray it, it's just straight spicy with smoke, and it's like that for like the first 2-3 minutes, and then you start to get this rose that kind of bubbles up throughout the fragrance, and it kind of does that for like the next hour or so, and then it develops a little bit further, and it kind of turns into like a slightly balsamic fragrance, and you still have the smoky note, the kind of incensey type feel. You've got the rose kind of coming through, and it's still really spicy. But then you tend to get like a slightly like woody nuance that comes in. Then as you get to the late dry down, it kind of does what a lot of fragrances do, and it kind of turns into this, I don't want to say non-distinct, but all of the notes kind of meld together, and you can't really make out as clearly as you could like the incense or smoky note, the spicy accord, the rose, the woody notes. It just becomes this kind of like nice, smooth, kind of balmy, like slightly kind of peppery, little floral type aroma, and then it kind of dies out. Now it lasts. It's a good solid 8 hours, and in the first like 2.5 to 3 hours, it projects really well. Now you take it with a grain of salt because everybody's canvas or skin is different. It's going to perform differently for every person, but it's got solid performance. So don't worry about that. It's not a fragrance that has mass appeal in my humble opinion, but it's a fragrance that I think that if you like spicy, smoky fragrances with a little bit of rose in it, I think you're going to like it. There's not a lot of fragrances out there that I'm aware that do that exact thing. I would say the fragrance to me is a formal, romantic type fragrance. And I say romantic because it's kind of got a seriousness to it. It's like a type of fragrance you're going to wear if you're trying to impress your date. You want her to be impressed by what you're wearing. You're serious. You're not playing games. It comes off like that versus like some type of seductive, alluring, sexy elixir that you're going to wear that's going to just be like you casting a big net out there trying to turn the heads of everybody. It's not that type of fragrance. It's more of a fragrance that I think that you are trying to impress that special someone and you wear it for that person, or you're going to some type of really nice formal event. It's kind of got that appeal to me. I think it's a good release. Now, what does it smell like in my humble opinion? It's not exactly like it, but as I was testing the fragrance, it started to remind me of Promise by Frederick Malle. Now, make no mistake, guys, Promise is a much better fragrance. Like, Promise is a great fragrance to me. This is a good fragrance. Not knocking Egyptian Smoke. Egyptian Smoke is a good fragrance, but Promise is a great fragrance. You can tell a difference in the quality of the ingredients, like the smoke and the spices and the rose. The rose is really fresh and juicy. It's on a different level. But again, Egyptian Smoke is a very solid fragrance. It's a good fragrance. You should have no qualms about it. I mean, Promise costs, I want to say $245 for a 1.7, and I want to say it's $350 for a 3.4 ounce bottle, and that's gray market. I don't even know what it is retail. So that lets you know that there's a huge difference. Now, price doesn't always equate to high quality, but in the case of the Frederick Malle Promise, it does. But Egyptian Smoke reminds me of that fragrance, and at different points throughout the development of the fragrance, because I did test them side by side, hand by hand, and at different points throughout the life of the fragrance, Egyptian Smoke smells a lot like Promise, and then at times it doesn't. So if you had to say what could I compare it to, that would be the fragrance I would compare it to, But again, not so anybody gets it twisted, Promise is a great fragrance. Egyptian Smoke is a good fragrance. For a Dunhill release, this is a good release, and it's one that I think maybe if it doesn't really get any traction in a few years, if somebody's looking at this collection and trying to figure out what fragrance from this collection do I want to cop, this might be one of the fragrances you want to get. All right, so again, Egyptian Smoke has got the great Dunhill presentation. I love the bottle. Classic, like microphone top, just like Icon. They've changed the bottom part to the solid glass. When you take the top off, it's got detail. That it's Egyptian Smoke, Alfred Dunhill, London Limited. I mean, it's got nice presentation. The box is really nice. It's not like a little cheap, generic cardboard box. It's got a little bit more to it. You hear that quality when you pop the cap. This is a solid fragrance. Definitely a nicer designer release. This is more of a high-end designer release, or that's what they were trying to do with it when they put it out. I don't know if this is going to sell a lot or not, if it's going to be a big hit or not. It doesn't have mass appeal. It's not one of these blue fragrances or overly sweet fragrances, but it's a good fragrance. And if what I've described is something that you are looking for, or you want something a little bit different, this might be one to check out. Okay, so again, from the house of Dunhill, Egyptian Smoke, and this is from their signature collection. I'm Rob, SOS Fragrance Reviews. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Give me a thumbs up if you want to. If you've never subscribed, I'd ask you do so. Until next time, you guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.